Qigong. Why do we do it? How do we do it? The correct way to do it, etc. Over the years, we in the West have tended to take things from the East and make them too complicated because we think that they should be complicated in some way. I don't know why we do this. Qigong is a relatively easy thing. It's not easy to gain what we're trying to gain from the Qigong, but it's a relatively easy thing to do. If you look at, okay, here's how we do Qigong. This is what we have to do. So if you look at what we have to do, it's not that difficult, really. Qigong stances are not that difficult. It's the mental attitude, the mind attitude that is difficult. However, we are given a relatively simple set of movements in order to gain Qigong. But we in the West tend to take these things and we even invent, well, I don't, but people tend to invent other Qigongs to make them more difficult, like flying duck Qigong, sitting goose Qigong, pooing rat Qigong. And they invent all these things, supposedly from the Chinese philosophy, and give them to us in the West, because things have to be complicated. Well, they're not complicated. Gaining it is, however, not complicated, but difficult. So why do we do Qigong? We do Qigong for a number of reasons. The main reason is to concentrate our energy, or our Qi, in the Dantian, point about 3 inches below your navel, so that we are then able to use that energy, as all human beings are able to, and indeed animals are able to heal your own body, but also to heal other people. We can also do Qigong to help us in our self-defense area, in our martial arts. Qigong in the martial arts tends to help us to move more freely, move more naturally, in order to gain the upper hand with the opponent. It also gives us much more body power. You can never become Superman. You can never use Qigong, for instance, to throw someone from a distance, to move someone from a distance, to knock someone out from a distance. It's impossible. As soon as someone starts doing this with his students on a stage or some demo somewhere, walk out. This is what I've done for the better part of my life. I've been around the world searching out these people. Jump up on stage and say, please do it to me, and they say, their stock standard answer is, oh, my energy would kill you. Oh, I've been doing it for 35 years. Oh, but you haven't been trained in my system. They cannot do it to anyone else, only their students. And of course to those people who really, really want this to work. So they feel something, they're saying, oh, I better fall down. See, that's the way these things work. Someone who cannot be hypnotized cannot be affected by these people in any way. Or someone who doesn't want it to work will not have it work on them. Sure, knockouts work if you're banging someone in stomach 9 point or whacking them in gallbladder 3. They'll work very well. But you have to touch the people in order to do it. So that's my little gripe over these charlatans who go around the world saying that they can throw, but they have their students running at them and boom, they don't move, and before the students, 10 feet away from them, they fly off in the distance. A load of rubbish, a load of crap. That's not what Qigong's about. Qigong is very special without all of those circus tricks. We don't need them. At a higher level, there's 3 levels of Qigong, of course. Self-healing. There's using it for the martial arts, for your self-defense applications. And then there's medical Qigong, that is, taking your own energy and helping another person's ailing energy or ailing body to heal itself. And that's the highest level that we aim to get to. If you can get to that level, you've already passed through the other 2 levels anyway. But we must start from the ground up. We can't go straight in and think, oh, I'm a healer now. I'm going to go out and heal some people. You might be doing them more damage than you are good. You might be putting your bad energy into them rather than good energy. So you have to start off at the beginning, of course, and progress through. As I said, it's a way of concentrating your energy, your own energy. And in a way, it's very simple. The Qigong stances are designed to very simply put the body into a natural position, a natural state, so that a natural flow and a natural amount of energy will then flow throughout your body, rather than, for instance, an impeded flow, which unfortunately probably 90% of all Westerners have to a certain degree. So we've got to get back to a normal flow of energy. A normal flow of energy in human beings, once you get... See, the trouble is, most of us never even know what it's like to be truly healthy. So we just accept the way we are as being, oh, I'm healthy, never knowing anything else. It's like the fish in the little fish bowl. He doesn't know what it's like over there. He just lives in his own fish bowl. But once you start learning your Qigong and doing your Qigong and things start to happen, then you'll get a much more natural flow of energy throughout your body. Then you start to think, oh, this is what it's all about. This is what having a natural flow of energy is all about. Much better than it was before when I thought I had a natural flow of energy. So the first thing to do is we put the body into a natural state, a more natural stance, in order for all of the meridians in your body, the acupuncture meridians, of which we have 12 main and 8 extras, are opened. They're rebalanced and they are opened. First of all, they're opened because our energy system, just like any conduit that has stuff flowing through it, over the years it becomes blocked or clogged, as we say, and your energy becomes impeded slightly. This can happen through bad eating, bad thought, even drinking bad water, etc. A lot of the time through bad thought, unfortunately. So that's the first area that we work on, is getting a much more natural flow through the meridians to start with. Each of the meridians in your body is either negative or positive, or yin or yang. And we must then do further Qigongs to rebalance that amount of yin and yang energy flowing through those meridians. So too much yang energy in your body and you're angry all the time, you're going red in the face, you're wanting to fight people, you're eating rubbish all the time, you're attracted to bad things and so on. Too much yin energy, you're just totally lethargic, you don't want to do anything, you're lazy, for instance. No sexual drive or anything. So we don't want to have too much sexual drive. We don't want to have none. And our sexual drive, by the way, is our basic driving force of our body. Unfortunately, some men tend to take it as being the be-all of end-all. Well, don't we all in the beginning when we're younger? But then as we age, of course, we learn that sex is not the be-all of end-all. You learn to redirect that energy into other areas of artistic endeavour, for instance, or helping other people or something like that. But it's the same energy. It's the basic life force energy. So that's the energy that we secondly try to rebalance within the body. And in rebalancing that energy and getting much more to flow through the meridians, we then literally bathe all of our internal organs in life-giving qi. Each organ in your body, heart, lungs, kidneys, liver, spleen, pancreas, every organ in your body, stomach, of course, it has an acupuncture meridian that is associated with it. And so when that meridian, that particular meridian, is open and free-flowing with qi, and it's also balanced with yin and yang energy, then the associated organ in your body is also balanced and healthy. It's when we get an imbalance of yin and yang energy that we start to get sick and allow disease to creep into our body. Many modern diseases, of course, are not really diseases. They are body conditions. Like diabetes, for instance. It's not a disease. I mean, most people think of disease as some pathogenic attack coming in from the outside, like a virus or a bacterial infection or something like that. But it's not. It's a body condition caused through imbalances of energy in the body, further caused by normally by our Western way of living, like too much rich food, too much refined food, too much sex. Yeah, too much sex is not good for you. And so on. That will give you diabetes, you see. Those sort of things give you diabetes. So it's our Western way of living. So we've not only got to attack our bodily conditions using Qigong to rebalance the energy. It's no good going out and having your car tuned and then driving it into the ocean and expecting it to still keep going. It's the same with us. It's no good doing your Qigong and you still keep eating chips and hamburgers and fast foods, lots of sugar and white flour, etc. No good to do lots of animal products. No good to do that, because your Qigong is going to be working against this all the time. So what I should have said in the beginning was, of course, your first line of attack should be your diet. And I'm not going to go into diet, it's my pet subject, and it'll take ages. Most people, even if they are on junk food diets, are in some way aware of what they should be really eating in order to get healthy. So then you start your Qigong, and then you'll find that you'll slowly start creeping up the ladder to great good health. First of all, opening the meridian so a more natural flow of energy will flow throughout your body, and then rebalancing the energy in your body. The rebalancing part is the martial part, and also the healing part, of course. And then we get on to the healing part, the medical part, where we have such a balanced body and such a natural flow of energy going through the body that we are then able to actually put energy into a person who is ill, for instance, because we have an abundance of energy. But you must have an abundance of energy first to put into your patient, if you want to call them patients, or your friend or who's sick. Otherwise you might be dragging, if you're sicker than them, you're going to be dragging stuff out of them. I once, how many times you've been to a doctor and the doctor's this big, you know he smokes cigarettes. That's no good. I've even seen Chinese doctors putting needles into people, for God's sake. They're taking energy from their sick patients, making them worse. There are a few things that you must be aware of when you're doing your Qigong, a few bodily movements that you must be aware of, body structure or posture, in other words. And I'll go into that now. I'll start with the upper body first. In the upper body, there are certain things you must do with your head, the whole structure of your neck, with your tongue, with your shoulders, etc. One of the most important areas in any internal healing art, martial art, Taiji, Bagua, etc., and Qigong, are the shoulders. Men in particular find great difficulty in relaxing the shoulders. Because we're told when we're kids to stand strong. That's a load of garbage. So the very first thing is to raise your shoulders up, physically tense them up, to feel the tension. Because most people don't even realize that they've got tension in their shoulders. It's been there for so long. That's why people get so much neck pain, so much upper back pain, so much shoulder pain. It's because there's this constant tension there, and we don't even realize it because we just live with it. We think it's normal. So what I tell people is to raise your shoulders physically and then drop them, just so that you're aware of the tension. I have people come to me and they can't do it. They'll raise their shoulders, they drop your shoulders, and they'll go like this. They can't, they're incapable of going, just totally letting go let go of the shoulders totally. This is probably one of the most important areas in your Tai Chi. You can't have tense shoulders and do those sort of movements, those sort of waving movements, if you have tension in your shoulders. The elbows must never hang higher than the wrists. For instance, that's correct. This is incorrect because I have to raise my shoulders in order to raise my elbow up. Shoulders must be relaxed. So you must be able to raise your arm like this with absolutely no shoulder movement whatsoever. What most people tend to do is this. See how my shoulder raised up? There's no reason, because this is an arm rotation, you see? It's like this. No reason to raise the shoulder. If I raise my arm up, look, I don't have to go like this, do I? I just work on that, get them both swinging without raising them up, and then raise both hands and see, look in a mirror, see if you can raise both hands without raising your shoulders up like so. Okay, the chin has to be not stuck out, of course, but pulled in ever so gently, just like this. See that? This tends to pull the backbone up straight. It pulls it up so that it's more vertical once you get to bend your knees. So you just pull your chin in lightly up. Don't pull it in like this, thus creating all the mistake people make when I tell them to do this. They go, oh, okay, headache time, that is. But see, most of us tend to walk around like this. This comes from sitting down and standing up when we try to keep our heads at level, you see, and we're constantly going like this with the head. When you sit down, chuck your chin in. That's a different story altogether. And get up. Keep your chin tucked in. So just pull your chin in very lightly. The tongue must be resting on your hard palate like you're saying the letter L. Just relax it naturally. The teeth are held naturally apart. They just fall apart just naturally. The breathing is in and out through your nose. There are times when you breathe in the nose and out the mouth, and in the mouth and out the nose. But for just a normal Qigong, we're breathing in the nose and out the nose. The breathing must come into here. You must never do this. See, that's raising the shoulders again. The lungs are here. They come up like this. Hardly any air gets in up here. So there's no reason to stick your chest out when you breathe in. You see someone breathing correctly and you watch this area here. That area is the only area that should fill up with air. That's your lung area. And then when you breathe out, see, I can breathe in. I can then raise my chest and no more air will come in. No air's come in, you see. So that's the area that you must breathe in and out down here. A lot of women have problems with this, so I tell them, lie on the floor, put your hands here, and think when you breathe in, okay, I'm going to push my hands up. Okay, now I'm going to let my hands go down. That's the way around that problem. Then you simply, the eyes, must be always in a martial arts Qigong, the eyes are always slightly open. You can have them fully open if you wish. See, Qigong you must be totally aware of everything that's happening around you. You mustn't, oh, I'm going to concentrate on this candle burning. Load of rubbish. Your mind should be empty. In the beginning, some people tell you to concentrate on your breath. But that's only to get you at least concentrating on one thing until you can finally be like a tree. Trees don't think about anything. So your mind is just totally still. You're aware that there's something moving over there. You're aware that there's a cool breeze around. But you don't think about these things. Your mind is totally relaxed, or in what is called a sung state, covered in earlier lessons. And there's nothing. There's just no thought whatsoever. That's the correct state to be in for Qigong. And this is why it's so difficult to get. Because we Westerners in particular are so used to, oh, what am I going to do next? Oh, what work am I going to do now? How am I going to pay for this bill? How am I going to do that? We're constantly, consciously thinking all the time. And so when you change that conscious thinking, things start to happen for you. So you just release all those thoughts and you don't think of anything whatsoever. So you've got your chin pulled in, your shoulders relaxed, and then you raise both hands up in front of you like so, like you're hugging a big tree. And once again, you only use the exact amount of muscle power to raise your arms up to that position. The index fingers are about under your nose height and turned out slightly. And your feet are parallel and shoulder width. Okay, we've done the hands, we've done the elbows, shoulders, tongue, chin, eyes, just stare, not staring, but just looking. The eyes tend to look like this, about 20 feet in front of you down to the ground. You can either have them fully open or just barely closed, so there's a slither of light coming through, so that you're not put off by having your eyes closed with your balance, etc. So you bend your knees down, straight down, like so. Your head doesn't lean forward or backwards. Your head should be when you bend out, it should be like there's a string there, and if you bend down, you don't move back like this away from the string. You bend straight down, keeping your back straight. Your back's got no sway in here. It's got to be straight. Your bum is just tucked under gently, and your hands are up in front of you. And that, my friends, is your basic Qigong stance. The knees are in a vertical line with the front of your toes, and you simply stand there for 15 minutes. There is, of course, more to this. It's all covered on my videos on Qigong and Taiji, but at least you've got the basics to get you started now. You might think, oh God, for 5 minutes I'm getting this shake. Well, that's normal to have the shakes, because you haven't done this before. After a while of doing this, 6 or 7 weeks, doing morning and night, 15 minutes at least, the shakes will then subside into a light vibration, and you'll feel, oh, this is pretty good to do. The most important thing is have a mirror there. Most important thing not to do is this. See? I'm leaning straight down like you're going to sit on a little stool. The bum tucks under naturally as you bend your knees, of course. Chin's pulled in, hands up, and you simply stand there. My first introduction to Qigong was exactly that. The Chinese teacher then left the room. Came back 30 minutes later and I was a quivering wreck. Couldn't walk out of the place that night. Had to get a cab home, in fact. No explanation though, nothing. So I hope you're able to glean something from this, and I hope that it will whet your appetite to carry on to much more advanced Qigong methods and even the full Qigong methods, etc. Thank you.